Right, 11 June 2025, and today I'm going to be giving you an update on all the trending news that are taking place in Africa and in Zimbabwe. And today we're going to be very quick. I'm going to start with Zambia. And in Zambia, there is a big crisis taking place over the burial of the late former president of Zambia, Edgar Lungu. So yesterday was the memorial service, which was held in Pretoria. And today we're expecting the body of the late president of Zambia, Edgar Lungu, to be moved to Zambia from South Africa. However, there has been no agreement, at least as of yesterday, there was no agreement on the body of Edgar Lungu being moved to Zambia for burial. There are preparations already with 7 days of mourning have been declared by President Hakainde Hichilema. And it was expected that by the 14th, there will be a burial of the body. And unfortunately, this has not happened. So the agreement has not been reached. And last night, a meeting was supposed to be held between the family of Lungu, the government of Zambia, and regional leaders from SADC, with the view that President Cyril Ramaphosa would mediate in the burial. So if the mediation succeeds, then the body of Lungu would then be moved to Zambia. However, the family is saying they are not being allowed to take charge of the process, and 2 of the children of Lungu were denied permission to come and mourn their father or to attend the service that took place in Pretoria yesterday. So let's look at what President Hakainde Hichilema has said today. I'm going to go to his page and I want to see if he has said anything about it. This is a deep crisis for Zambia. This is not good. What is happening in Zambia right now is terrible. And I believe that people are using this situation to score political points. So let's look at President Hakainde Hichilema today. And President Hakainde Hichilema has posted on his meeting. You can see that that was the first post that is made 16 hours ago. He says, "We are delighted to receive a courteous call from the World Health Organization resident representative of Zambia, His Excellency Dr. Clement L. Lasuba." So that is all he has posted right now. President Hakainde Hichilema has not made any new posts on the situation with former president, the late Edgar Lungu. So this is what we have. Only the newspaper reports from South Africa. Currently, the Star newspaper of South Africa reporting that President Cyril Ramaphosa is going to be mediating this repatriation of the body, which is currently stuck in South Africa. So you can go and check out the Star newspaper of South Africa. And that newspaper says a meeting was held or is going to be held with regional leaders. And unfortunately, one of the other things the newspaper says is that key leaders of the PF party are said to be arrested very soon. This week, they're said to be arrested over the burial of Lungu. So this is in the Star newspaper of South Africa today. You can go and check it out. And this is a crisis in Zambia, as I have said. Now, let's quickly look at Zimbabwe. And I want to start with the Trababalas interchange. So the Trababalas interchange costed $88 million. And today, Jacob Mafume, the mayor of Harare, has announced that 10 more interchanges are going to be built in Harare at a cost of almost $10 billion. So as you know that there was massive corruption here at Mbudzi interchange, which is now called the Trababalas interchange. So 10 more interchanges are going to be built, and the same guys who built this one are going to build those ones. And that is massive looting taking place in Zimbabwe. And myself, you know that my preference would be for a railway to be put up. That is east to Rua and south to Bulawayo, and also other areas like Chitungwiza. You can have railway there, and I don't think it will cost 10 billion. However, they're doing this because that is how they loot. They loot a lot of money, and all these are going to be done by government. So I don't know why Mafume was announcing it, but he has made that announcement that 10 more interchanges are set to be built in Harare. In Bulawayo, and if you go to the Chronicle newspaper, you will see that Tyson Lunga, the teacher at Milton High School, has appeared for his bail hearing. And during the bail hearing, Lunga said that he joined the school in September, and 2 teachers are behind the spreading of rumors that he's been having inappropriate relationships or approaching boys at the school for inappropriate relationships. It is said that Lunga would approach the students, most of them between 15 and 17, and make advances, offering to give them between $10 and $50, and the beggars. So chicken in beggars. So 2 of the students have reported Lunga to the boarding master at the school, and the boarding master then took the 2 boys to the police to make a police report. I don't know why they had to wait for a police report. You know how to deal with such people, especially when young boys are involved. I don't think you need to even go and report this thing to the police. This guy should have been chucked out of the school. But it's clear 6 boys made the reports, and they all didn't make it up. I don't think 6 boys would just come out of nowhere and say Tyson Lunga is offered us $10. And sometimes he would even walk around with the boys in town. He would call them on WhatsApp. He would WhatsApp the boys. And this is terrible. Tyson Lunga still in jail and awaiting his bail decision. So I don't see how he can go back to this school. It's better for him to just quit. Tyson Lunga, I don't like it. And then Preza, in fact, one of the boys is confirmed to have had a relationship with Tyson Lunga. So that is crazy. Now let's go to Preza. Preza and his band members have all received cars from Wikno Chivayo. And this is part of the ongoing campaign against change in Zimbabwe. Wikno Chivayo is buying up all the popular celebrities with cars. Then going to ZANU-PF, Paul Tungwarara has launched the Tap and Go ride-hailing service. That includes 4x4s and small cars. So you can see the cars that they have here. That is Tap and Go. They have got a lot of big cars. I don't know where they're getting all these big cars. And this is the new ride-hailing service challenging the likes of Uber. You know that in Zimbabwe we don't have Uber, and you'll be able to pay in Zig. So that is the new ride-hailing service by Paul Tungwarara. Then illegal Zimbabweans in South Africa have been deported overnight. They've been taken by bus straight to the border after the fighting that took place in the Eastern Cape. And these are people who were not documented, who were working on the farms. As we speak right now, they are probably on the way. It takes about 3 to 4 days to travel from Eastern Cape to the border. So it's a long distance of about 1,000 to 2,000 kilometers. So these guys are on the way home. You can go and look on Facebook. There are many people who are sharing this story of the deported Zimbabweans. So South African immigration is deporting these Zimbabweans and taking them home. They are lucky because normally you are taken to repatriation centers and you stay there for months and months. But in this particular case, they have been taken straight to the border with their children. There are many children here and women. Then in business, Tagure is giving up the license for ZB Bank. So there's a housing department of ZB Bank. You remember long back there was Founders Building Society. So it's now called ZB Building Society, and they're giving it away. They're giving back the license to the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe because they failed to capitalize. It's not that he doesn't have the money, but I think he just took the bank and stripped it, and now he's giving away the bank. Then, in terms of conferences, Atam Tambara is becoming a big player. So that is the former deputy president of Zimbabwe, Atam Tambara, Ago, is becoming a big player in AI, and he's going to be speaking at a conference, AI conference, between the 17th and the 20th of June at Victoria Falls. So you can go check it out over here. I'll put it on Gambakwe. And then President Jumaboko is still in New York, where he's talking to investors about diamonds and investment in Botswana. Botswana is a very interesting country. It's huge. So the question is, what do you do? What do you offer investors? And I think diamonds are not enough. So here he says, our journey to secure transformative diamond deals and advance beneficiation opportunities for Botswana continues. We're currently in New York engaging with strategic partners who share our vision and can help us tell the powerful story of Botswana and the brilliance of our precious diamonds. And I think President Maboko needs to go into other sectors. Botswana has got a lot of potential, but I believe that Botswana cannot just rely on diamonds. Something else needs to come up, and that is important. Then in Kenya, there has been a massive outbreak of violence after the death of blogger Albert Ojwang. Albert Ojwang was arrested after he posted or tweeted about police chief, one of the police chiefs, Eliud Lagat. And currently, massive unrest and activism around his death, as the police said, after he was transported to the Central National Station, he banged his own head against the wall until he died. Obviously, that's not possible. You can't bang your own head against the wall until you die. So there was an autopsy, and it was found that he did not bang his head against the wall until he died. In fact, he was strangled and choked until he died. So on 6 June, 31-year-old Albert Ojwang was arrested in Homa Bay, Western Kenya, following a complaint by Deputy Inspector General of Police Eliud Lagat, accusing him of defaming the deputy chief on social media. So he said he was defamed. On 7 June, Ojwang was held in custody at Nairobi Central Police Station. And police later claimed that he was found unconscious in a cell with self-inflicted head injuries after he banged his own head against the wall. On June 8, he was declared dead, and his family was informed. And on June 9, an autopsy was conducted by a team of 5 pathologists led by Dr. Bernard Media. The postmortem revealed that Ojwang did not die from self-inflicted injuries, but suffered severe head trauma, neck compression, and a multiple soft tissue injury consistent with assault. And up to today, there's been massive outrage regarding his death, and human rights organizations, political leaders, including Raila Odinga, have condemned the killing and called for accountability. That is what has happened in Kenya. So Kenya, this man was killed by the police, and that is after he made a tweet about Deputy Police Chief Eliud Lagat and transported a very long distance until he was killed in the police cells. What a terrible human rights record for Kenya. And then in business, South African telecommunications company, Telkom, has made a massive profit, and they've declared a dividend. And that is after they've also sold that Telkom, their masts. So you know those masts that they use for cell phones, they've also sold those. So they've declared a dividend and a special dividend, and they've declared a revenue of 11.6 billion. So Telkom doing very, very well. Their strategy is very sound, and you can see the share price is amazing. So the share price was going down since 2022 until 2024, and this year it has risen parabolically. So this is what we call a parabolic. When your share price does that, that is a parabolic. You're going to see a massive rise in the share price of Telkom, and the dividend is very nice. So if you've got shares in Telkom, a lot of people have shares in Telkom. They were given away as part of an empowerment plan. And people are smiling all the way to the bank. Then in terms of other news, the South African economy is tumbling, is being hammered, and is in a crisis. So currently, the South African manufacturing sector is in its fourth month of decline. So the South African economy is declining, manufacturing is falling, and let's see what has happened. I want to show you 9 out of 10 sectors of the South African economy have declined, and the biggest decline came in May of 6.3%. So food and beverages minus 7.6%, basic iron and steel minus 6.3%, motor vehicles minus 14.9%, petroleum minus 2.5%, electrical machinery minus 12.2%, wood and wood products minus 2.1%, and textiles, clothing, leather, and footwear 1.8%. They did have a small decline here. So actually, textiles grew 1.8%, glass and metallic mineral products plus 4.4%. So these two sectors, textiles, clothing, leather, and footwear, have increased. Glass and non-metallic products have increased, but everything else has crashed. So these are figures from Stats SA. Massive decline in the South African economy. Investors don't want to come to South Africa, and partly because of the BBBEE rules. So what has happened this week is that the Minister, Gwede Mandashe, has issued a correction notice after there was massive resistance to changes that they were making, which required BBBEE in the amendment of the Mineral Resources Development Bill. So they made the new bill, and one of the requirements there was BBBEE. However, after resistance, Mandashe has issued a correction notice. No one likes BBBEE. It's not helping anyone, and the South African economy is getting hammered. It's the worst performance of the economy that I've seen ever. If you travel in South Africa, anywhere you go, the retail sector is badly affected. So if you go into any shop, that's why you can see that food and beverages there is minus 7.6. That is translating from what's happening in the shops. Now, no one is buying. People are not buying, and they've got no buying power. There is high unemployment in the country. And if you walk into a business, especially takeaway businesses, if you walk into a big retail company or shop, you are most likely to be the only person there. People are just not buying. So production is going to be affected. However, production is affected after a while. So what you're going to see down the road is shocking. It's going to be shocking. South Africa undergoing one of the worst economic declines that I've seen. And massive infrastructure stagnation. So it's stagnation in South Africa. Things are not moving. They need to stimulate the economy, one, by capitalizing new businesses. It's very difficult to get capital in South Africa. So new businesses are not coming up. The old businesses that are there are closing, and new businesses in new sectors are not coming up. So they need to do something especially with providing capital to businesses. It's very difficult to get capital for a new business in South Africa. One of the most difficult places where the banking sector just takes money and puts it in the vault and nothing happens. You cannot get a loan in South Africa for a business. And there's nothing from the government side to start a business. So most of the guys who are losing jobs are just going back on the streets and looking for another job. And that's not the way to do it. You need to stimulate the SMMEs. And South Africa is failing very badly. Here, they're not doing a good job. So massive decline. And this is one of the biggest stories in South Africa right now as we speak. Minus 6.3% decline in South Africa manufacturing. And this is for the 4th month in a row. Remember, the data is up to May. Already we know that up to June, the numbers are going to get worse and worse. Right, let's quickly look at the comments. Good morning, Mr. Copy and Paste. Yes, what did I copy and paste? Chigananda, Chisina Focus, go watching from Europe. Yes, come home, go. And then, morning, Gambakwe, please, if you can go downstairs and check with him, Darageza. I said, deny pano, but today I'm not home. You can see, you can see that I'm not home, right? Darageza, Arkumba Kwangu, not here where I am. You know what I live in Cape Town, and right now in Rukupi, I am in Johannesburg. So you are not going to see Mdarageza downstairs. Mapabata Utarukupi, Mdarageza. Good morning, Mr. Trababalas. You don't have your daily mojo today. Why are you showing signs of fatigue or defeat? Never. I am way away from my home. If you see Pandiri, you can see it is very dark. This is not my house. I am in another place and another place. So I'd like to thank all of you for watching. Tomorrow is the 12th. Yes, Nyoka is going to be back in court. We are going to update you on what happens with the bail hearing. If Nyoka is granted bail, it's going to be massive. If Nyoka is not granted bail, it's going to be a long journey. But I don't see how that is possible. Nyoka's charges must be withdrawn. That is what I believe. Nyoka's charges must be withdrawn. He's done nothing wrong. The charges are bogus and they make no sense. So that is what I think. But let's go back to the headline. We say that President Cyril Ramaphosa is now mediating in the repatriation of the body of former and the late president of Zambia, Edgar Lungu. The Star newspaper reports that this comes after a meeting has been set up between the South African government, SADC, regional leaders, the family of Lungu, and President Cyril Ramaphosa to mediate so that the body can be repatriated. The family is refusing to release the body, saying that they want to take charge of the process and they've not been involved. And 2 of Lungu's children have been denied permission to come to the memorial service in Pretoria. So let's see what happens today. We expect the burial to take place on the 14th. That is what we expected. What is Saturday, the 14th. But if this fails, Lungu might eventually be buried in South Africa. That is a possibility that Lungu might eventually be buried in South Africa, or he might be buried in Zambia at a private funeral service. So that is a private burial if the family refuses. And I don't think President Hakainde Hichilema is going to refuse the permission. If they want to go for a private burial, I don't think President Hakainde Hichilema would force them. But what you must know is that this would be a big disservice to the late president who was loved by many people. He's got many, many followers inside of Zambia. So it won't make sense to do that. And I don't think regional leaders would agree. You saw that Mugabe's situation became the same. Eventually, Mugabe had a private burial at his home after his wife, Grace Mugabe, refused to let him get buried at the National Heroes Acre, where it is believed that current Mnangagwa and his government are using the bodies of the people there for ritual purposes. They go there at night to do rituals. It's crazy what happens in Africa. It's shocking that people can do that, to leave their home at night and do ritual at someone's grave. So that is what is happening in Zimbabwe. But in Zambia, it is purely a political matter. And I believe that people are trying to score political points against President Hakainde Hichilema, who is doing very, very well. Probably the best president that Zambia has had. So I'll let you guys know what happens. That is later on today. The body is supposed to leave today, but it is said that it's not likely to leave. And if that body does not leave, there is going to be the arrest of PF officials. PF officials have told the Star newspaper of South Africa that, in fact, a government official has told the Star newspaper that some PF leaders are set to be arrested this week. So you can go and check it out. In fact, let me show you, because I know that most of you are in Zambia and you won't see the newspaper. So let's go to the Star newspaper. Where is the Star newspaper before I go? I don't want you guys to complain. The Gambakwe told us half a story. And I know that a lot of Zambian guys you watch here, including guys in government, the people of Zambia are my people. In fact, I've got uncles in Zambia. Do you guys know that? Dinema Sekuru Angu, Akaroa, Zambia. Okay. So looking at this newspaper, the late president's body is currently in Pretoria, but its repatriation has been delayed due to what insiders call hostile diplomatic and logistical complications. However, there may be a breakthrough on the horizon. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa is reportedly stepping in to help mediate the situation. So then let's go here. According to sources close to the matter, Ramaphosa and other regional leaders were expected to speak last evening. This is aimed at resolving the deadlock and ensuring Lungu's body is returned to Zambia with the dignity befitting a former head of state. The body will not be arriving in Zambia tomorrow. Some of the leaders of PF may be arrested in the days to come. Although the mortal remains of President Lungu were expected to arrive in Zambia on Wednesday, I can confirm that will not be happening, say the government official are familiar with the proceedings. So you can see that the government official has said some of the leaders of PS may be arrested in the days to come. So this is in the Star newspaper. Go check it out. Leaders of PF just about to be locked up. I don't think so. I just think this is scaremongering meant to destroy the image of a good president. President Hakainde Hichilema, my favorite president. I love President Hakainde Hichilema. He's amazing. When I was in Zambia and ZANU-PF wanted to kill me, President Hakainde Hichilema put an agent to follow me around and protect me. And when people were just about to arrest me, the agent jumped out and said, "What are you doing?" That was crazy. It was like a movie. President Hakainde Hichilema, I love him. He will never do anything which is not dignified. I can assure you that everything here is going to end up with a proper resolution. President Hakainde Hichilema is a man of his word. Okay, I think I've completed everything I wanted to complete here, except the late Chief Ndube. She has died. So that is the female chief of Bulawayo has died. In Caesar, the female chief, late Chief Ndube, died at 40 years old. She died on the 4th. I don't know why it has taken so long to bury her, but she has passed away, the late Chief Ndube, a female chief of Bulawayo. I would like to thank all of you for watching. And it's amazing. I love doing these morning updates. There is no single place where you can get news, especially if you're outside of Harare. There is no way where you can get an update like this one, where you know everything that has happened across the whole world. That is amazing. And we're going to continue to give you these news bulletins. It's going to become bigger and bigger. And we're going to do and continue doing this on a daily basis. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. As you see other comments about it, it doesn't have any journalists on the ground. I do have 30 people working for Gambakwe Media. And every hour, we produce 3 news stories on YouTube. So if you go to our YouTube, 3 news stories every single hour a day. That is 3 times 12. What is 3 times 12? 36 stories a day. That is amazing. And we also run other newspapers which are not in Zimbabwe. So sometimes you're reading news and you don't even know it's Gambakwe. That is amazing. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And I'll see you again a little bit later. And a good day to you all.